My old IKEA desk was getting too small for my needs, so I decided to build a new one out of plywood. I first drew a sketch on a piece of paper with enough space for my keyboard, monitor, and a writing area. I also added drawers for stationary items, cables, and other junk. Me and my dad took this drawing and created a 3D model in SketchUp and put accurate dimensions that fit the space available in my room. I post the link to the SketchUp file in the description. You can modify the dimension to fit your needs. From SketchUp, we exported the cut list, showing the dimensions of all the parts we needed to cut. I posted the link to that as well. We decided to build the entire desk except the drawers from 3/4 furniture grade plywood, and the drawer would be from 1/2 inch plywood. We brought the plywood from our local hardware store and started cutting it. First we made rough cuts, then we squared the angles to 90 degrees, and at the end we cut the parts to their final size. First we started assembling the inside part of the right leg. We squared the parts, drilled pilot holes using countersink bits, and fastened the parts using 2-inch screws. We repeated the same process for the outside part of the leg. After the two parts were assembled, we sanded them with 100 grit sandpaper. Once we confirmed everything fit nicely together, we took it apart, added glue, and reassembled it. When the right leg was assembled, we put together the cabinet box using only screws and pre-drilled holes. Now we connected the cabinet box to the right leg using a support beam, which is fastened with bolts, washers, nuts, and a 90-degree metal plate. Now we covered the open end of the plywood with veneer. We used heat-activated veneer edge bands so we could press them down with a hot iron and trim the overhang. To make the drawer, we first cut the 1/2 inch plywood into dimensions needed using a table and meter saw. Then we made grooves and rabbets for the joinery. We didn't have a dodo blade, so we made 2 cuts each time to get a 1/4 inch groove. We assembled the drawer using wood glue and an 18 gauge nailer. installed the drawer slides. Then we assembled the inside dividers for the drawer using just glue. To assemble the monitor stand, we used 2 pocket holes per leg. Then applied edge band to all parts. And we screwed the legs to the base, making sure they were aligned. To mount the tabletop to the legs, we used T-nuts and bolts on each of the 4 corners. We first chiseled 1 by 1 inch grooves, carefully preserving the top part of the plywood. Next, we hammered the T-nuts into the hole. Then, we glued the part of the plywood that we removed. Next, we used wood filler to make it even. Then sanded it to make it smooth. To give it a nice finished look on the top, we applied 2 coats of primer and 3 coats of paint with sanding in between. Then we applied 3 coats of polyurethane. For the leg, drawer front, and cabinet box, we used a dark brown stain. apply 3 coats of polyurethane. To make the desk cool looking in the dark, we installed an LED strip below the top. The strip came with self-adhesive tape that we attached to 1/2 inch of plywood glued to the bottom part of the desk. Next, we glued frosted plexiglass just in front of the LED strip to cover it and diffuse the light. We used 2-part epoxy as an adhesive and clamps to keep it in place till it cures. We added a dual power outlet in the right leg and connected it to a 6-foot cable. We installed a slim 4-port USB adapter and connected directly to the power outlet. We used an eraser to keep it in place. We used a Kreg jig to drill 2 35mm holes for the hinges in the door. Then we installed the hinges. Then the metal plates on the cabinet box and hung the door. This was a very memorable project. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, so make sure to like and subscribe. Remember, everything you need to build a desk similar to this one is linked in the description.